Hi there, today we're going to be taking a quick look at the new Moto G5, and notice on the box on the front the Lenovo branding. For those who haven't followed the mobile news over the last couple of years, Motorola sold the Moto brand, so the Moto brand is made by Lenovo, so it's the Lenovo Moto G5. That's been the case for a while. Let's take a quick look at the back of the box, some of the specs. So 5-inch Full HD screen. So Lenovo have dropped the size. The G5 was 5.5 inches, and a few people kind of pointed out that that wasn't really what the Moto G range was all about. The G range was kind of a small, affordable phone, and the G4 maybe pushed the boundaries a bit too much, made it a bit too big, maybe a bit too expensive in its design. So the G5 has kind of brought the size and the styling down a little bit, but as we'll see when we open the box up in a minute, you've still got quite a few decent specifications in there. 13 megapixel camera, doesn't mention it on here, but it's got face detection autofocus, which actually makes this quite an advanced camera for the price, which at £170 is a very affordable device. It's the phone itself. We'll just pop that down while we look inside. You get a charger. This is a UK model, so we've got a 3-pin UK charger in there, and the data cable, which is micro USB. So Lenovo haven't opted to go for the USB-C connector on this phone. We've got the standard micro USB, so another generation of G phones before we get a USB Type-C port on there. And something that is new on the G range, this is the first G phone to feature a removable battery. So taking the back cover off, there is your 2,800 milliamp hour battery. When you first open the box, that is sealed separately in the box. It's not installed in the phone, you've got to install it yourself. And this is where we'll see the micro SD and SIM card. This is the very, very base version of the G5. So this is a single SIM with 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of storage, and only one SIM card and a micro SD on top. There is a dual SIM model. The dual SIM model also ups the RAM to 3 gigabytes. That one's not out yet. That one's going to be out in a couple of weeks. But design-wise, it looks identical. There is also due to be a G5 Plus, which is a bigger phone. That one just simply says spring on the Motorola website. Sorry, the Moto website at the moment. There's no fixed date for that one. Looking at the design of the phone, that's a pretty slim, pretty lightweight device. It doesn't feel particularly bulky or weighty in the hand, even with the battery installed. Keeping the kind of Moto curve and this slight kind of curve on the back, which the G range has followed for a few years. We don't have the dimple anymore. I like the old dimple that used to be there. Now it's just a Moto M logo. I used to like the way that the finger would rest in that. Unfortunately, that's gone. And the big circular camera unit, that's a feature of the Moto Z and the Z Play. So Lenovo keeping the same kind of design language across the whole Moto range now. Whether you're buying a cheaper G series or a more expensive Z series, you're getting a phone that looks the same all the way through the range. Let's boot this back up, because it's going to have to reboot while we see if we put the battery in and out. Take the little transit screen protector off. So we'll get Moto's animation, a little bit of nostalgia when you hear this boot up in a minute. Got the Hello Moto noise from the 90s. Looking at the device while it's booting up, this is a fingerprint sensor. That's not a button. This doesn't depress or click. It's just a pad. And with the Android 7 software that's in here, you can store up to 5 fingerprints. So I like to use a thumb and a finger, so I can kind of get access whichever way I like. Fairly simple connections. Hello Moto. We've got the volume, power, pretty basic. The power button's got a little bit of ribbing to it there, so you can easily find that. And the software, if you've been using a Moto over the last few years, is very, very close to stock Android. It's not stock Android. There are some extra Moto bits and pieces to it. When you tap the Moto app that's here, you have actions and display. So Moto display is what is used in lieu of a notification LED. When notifications come in, you'll get the screen, the dark screen, will have a little notification in it, and you can dismiss or use that. You can turn that off. And the Moto gestures, which is one of the things I don't know why more people don't, more manufacturers don't add these. They're some of my favourite things about Moto phones. Karate chop. Oh look, your light's on. Brilliant. You want to raise the camera quickly? Twist the phone. There's your camera. Moto gestures. Useful little extra. But aside from these few little tweaks, the system itself is very, very much a stock approach. There's a few other little things running in the background, Motorola privacy policy and getting advertising data, etc., which you can switch off. They're pretty open about it. But for the most part, you get the look, feel and performance of a stock Android 7 phone. So there we are. That is the brand new Moto G5. Thanks for watching.